A landmark restaurant is closing down. Shriners in Fond du Lac, in business since 1938, is a casualty of the economic fallout from COVID-19. The family-owned and operated Shriners served more than 500,000 people a year. Some restaurants are closing while others are reopening after the months-long coronavirus shutdown. And business will be different. So we're talking about all of that now with Christine Helmer, the president and CEO of the Wisconsin Restaurant Association. Christine, we really appreciate you being with us today. So I wanted to bring to your attention that 2 months ago, we had the Wisconsin foodie creator Arthur Ursink on the show. At the time, he estimated that maybe 30% of our restaurants would close permanently because of what's happened with coronavirus. What's the update? What are you thinking in terms of that number?
I still think that there's a great possibility that that number can still come true for a lot of reasons. It's been 2.5, almost 3 months since everything has hit our operators, and they're still struggling. Even if they can do a really successful curbside and delivery business, to close down dining rooms really has a huge impact on their business. And many of them are seeing upwards of 70 to 95% drop in sales when you compare it year to year from prior years. And even if you do a curbside, it doesn't replace those dollars.
And some restaurants are now opening their dining rooms. What are the challenges you're hearing?
There's a lot of challenges. First of all, a lot of operators have used this time to figure out what are the best ways that they can keep their staff safe as well as their customers safe. And that sometimes means a reduced capacity within your dining room. Do they choose to use PPE? What is their sanitation practices? How are they socially distancing the tables? All of that stuff is being taken into consideration. And some of them are also making the decision just because they can open up doesn't mean they should. It really all depends upon the business model and what's happening in their local community. If there's a spike in cases in a local community, some restaurants are choosing not to reopen quite yet. They're just not ready.
Some areas are requiring reduced capacity. And how does a restaurant make money? How do they do that if they can't fill the dining room?
And that's the difficult piece of it. So on average, a restaurant's profit margin is between 4 and 6%. So that means that 96 to 98 cents of every dollar roughly is already spoken for that come in the door. And so the profit margin is very slim. And you add to that, you've got reduced capacity, and now you've got increases in supply prices. If you can even get something such as beef or chicken or pork, the prices are higher. So that even eats into that restaurant cost model. And all of that is making it very difficult. It's a very competitive business. And it's a very tough business right now that our operators have really been through the ringer in the past couple months.
What's your biggest concern about reopening?
Our biggest concern is that we're going to reopen too quickly, that we're going to see a spike in cases, that restaurant operators are going to be forced to close down again. We have one shot to get this right. And we want to do it smartly. We want to do it in a methodical way, and we want to do it to protect employees as well as the customers as they come in. But we also have to come to grips with there is an economic reality that's happening out there that restaurants are going under business. As you mentioned, Shriners is a great example of that. We're seeing that there are mental health issues of people who are stuck at home. People are losing their livelihoods. We've got staff that haven't been able to get unemployment. And so we have a survival issue out there that's in addition to the impact on the businesses. And if we don't get it right, it's going to get worse. And we also have to come to the understanding that at some point in time, people are going to have to start opening up for all the reasons I was just mentioning. It's not going to necessarily mean there's not going to be any additional cases, but we have to mitigate them to the absolute best of our ability to keep everybody safe. But there's nothing is 100%. Even staying at home, go to the grocery store to pick up groceries, you're exposed there. So there's exposure out there. We just need to figure out a way to do it in a way that's smart to keep as many people safe as possible.
And I know you're also concerned about restaurants getting sued potentially.
So anybody can sue for any reason. And we also know that there's going to potentially be some lawsuits where somebody goes into a restaurant, they catch COVID, and it could be from the restaurant, or it could be from the grocery store, it could be from somebody coming into their home. There could be for a lot of reasons, but they may then choose to sue the restaurant operator. And our guidance to our operators is we can't stop that from happening. There's no liability waiver that we can give you. However, if you can demonstrate and you can follow all of your plans, that you have cleaned to your best ability, you have not allowed staff to come in sick, that you've reduced capacity, you have done everything in your power to reduce every mitigated risk, then that's going to go a whole long way to say, I did everything I could to make sure that people were safe. And not only for the liability perspective, but I think it's the right thing to do.
We know restaurants are going through so much right now. So, Christine, we're certainly wishing you the best. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Absentee ballot applications will be going out to millions of Wisconsin voters. Coming up, is it a tight timeline in just 5 months? And what about those allegations of fraud?